Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Today's topic is third week of embryonic development. When we are saying third week of embryonic development, it will the main events which will occur in the third week of development. The number one will be the establishment of three germ layers. Establishment of three germ layers. Number two is the appearance of primitive streak. Number three is the development of notochord. Number four is the neurulation. As we know, establishment of three germ layers is known as the gastrulation. So, gastrulation can be defined as it is the formative process by which three germ layers, which are precursors of all embryonic tissues and axial orientation, are established in embryos. So, after gastrulation, bilaminar germ disc we have prepared already in the second week of development. Then it is formed. We have epiblast and hypoblast. After the formation of the bilaminar germ disc, in the third week, we will have the gastrulation. By this process, we will form three germ layers. So, germ disc will be of three layers. Previously, in the at the end of the second week, it was of two layers. This is the end of the picture showing the end of the second week, and here you can see that upper one is the epiblast and lower one is the hypoblast. This upper one is the epiblast. This upper one is the epiblast and lower one is the hypoblast. So at the second week of the development, we have two germ layers, and with the process of gastrulation, it will form three germ layers. As you can see, at the end of this lecture, we will have three germ layers: ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm. And we will also complete the development of notochord at the end of this lecture. So we are going to get picture like this, that ectoderm, mesoderm, in the center of the mesoderm we have the notochord, and this one is the endoderm. And previously we know that epiblast and hypoblast. So what will be the process by which we can form these three layers in the germ disc? First step in this is the formation of primitive streak. Here you can see the dorsal view of epiblast. This diagram is we have cut the amnion from here at its edges, and we are seeing at the epiblast. We can see only the epiblast. Beneath it we have the hypoblast. So at the beginning of the third week, an opacity formed by a thickened linear band of epiblast, the primitive streak appears caudally. The primitive streak will appear caudally in the median plane of the dorsal aspect of the embryonic disc. So I will repeat it, that this opacity is going to appear caudally in, so the development is from the caudal to the cranial direction. So development is from the caudal to the cranial direction, and this will appear first caudally and then it will develop slowly towards the cranial end, but it will not reach at the its phallic end. It is going to develop cranially towards the cranium, and in center it will be completed. So the development of primitive streak is from the caudal to the cranial direction, and it is number one, direction of the development, caudal to cranial. Number two, it is going to develop in the median plane, and number three, you will see that this is the dorsal aspect of the embryonic disc. So uh, an opacity appears first in the caudal direction, then it will form a groove. When there will be the groove in the center, the on the both sides of the groove there will be the raised edges. This will form the vertical limb of the primitive streak. At its cranial end of the primitive streak, there will a node-like elevation which is surrounded by a groove. This node-like elevation, rounded elevation, is known as the primitive node, and groove around it, it is known as the primitive pit. So it's at its cranial end, primitive streak is known as the rounded elevation is known as the primitive node, and groove around the rounded elevation is known as the primitive groove. Clear? It is clear that primitive streak develops from caudal to cranial direction. It is in the form of the opacity, and then it will form the groove-like structure in the median plane of the epiblast. This groove-like structure is surrounded by the raised edges on its both sides, and at its cranial end there is the rounded elevation node which is surrounded by a groove that is known as the primitive pit. So in this way, starting from the 16th to 18th day of the embryonic development, there will be the development or formation of the primitive streak. But what is the benefit of the primitive streak? We can say that this primitive streak is for the formation of the initial step for the formation of the three germ layers. You can see in one more diagram that this is the opacity, and this opacity will grow and towards the cranial direction, and this is, you can say, this is the vertical limb of the primitive streak, and at its cranial end we have the primitive node surrounded by the primitive pit, and this is the epiblast. So what happens? The cells from all over the epiblast, the cells from all over the epiblast, they come towards the primitive streak. I will repeat, the cells which are present in the epiblast, they will come towards the primitive streak, and they will, here there will be the change in the shape of the cells of the epiblast. And this change in the shape of the cells is so that cells become flask shaped, and then these flask shaped cells can move inward inward between the epiblast and hypoblast. They will go in different directions on its lateral side, on its forward side, on its cranial side, on its caudal side. So they are moving everywhere, and they will settle themselves between the epiblast and hypoblast. So when they will move inward, this inward movement is known as the invagination. So I will repeat it, that cells coming from the epiblast towards the primitive streak, and when they will reach in the primitive streak, they will change their shape so that they will become flask shape. After change in the shape, they will get two properties: migration and specifications. Migrations and specifications. So migration, with the help of the migration, they will have the movement, and they will detach itself from the epiblast, from the primitive state, and slip beneath the they will slip beneath the epiblast. So they will settle themselves in between these two layers. Some cells will come downward, and they will settle them in the median plane. When they will settle themselves in the median plane, they will be within the hypoblast and will replace the hypoblast here, and there will be the only two layers, that is ectoderm and endoderm. This area in the median plane, which have only two layers, that is known as the oropharyngeal membrane. On its caudal end, although the development is after the cranial end, here development will be the late, but here also is the same case, that only two layers remain, that is ectoderm and endoderm, without intervening mesoderm. So they will form the cloacal membrane. When these from the epiblast, the cells were moving beneath the epiblast through the primitive streak, they will settle themselves around its lateral edges, around its cranial end, around its caudal end. So they will replace the hypoblast, forming the endoderm. They will replace the hypoblast, and it will form the endoderm, and the layer which is present between the epiblast and endoderm will form the mesoderm, and above layer, which is the epiblast, will form ectoderm. In this way, we have three layers: ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm. As events are occurring for the formation of the three germ layers, they, I want to explain the development in the median plane of the embryonic disc. There these are the first cells which will migrate and they will pass forward in the median plane. When they will reach the tip of the notochord, these are called precaudal cells, and in the cephalic direction they pass on each side of the precaudal plate. The precaudal plate itself forms between the tip of the notochord and the oropharyngeal membrane. So we can say it is derived from some of the first cells that migrate through the node in the midline and move in a cephalic direction. So the first cells which will migrate from the node, first cells that migrate through the node in the midline and move in a cephalic direction, they will form the precaudal plate. Later, the precaudal plate will be important for induction of the forebrain. The oropharyngeal membrane at the cranial end of the disc consists of a small region of the tightly adherent ectoderm and endoderm without intervening the mesoderm. Now the fate map established during gastrulation. The cells are coming from the epiblast and moving towards the primitive streak. So the first cells at the development is towards the cranial direction. So the first cells which move from the node and the cranial end of the streak, they will form the notochord and precaudal plate. They will form the precaudal plate and notochord. Those migrating from the lateral edges, they will form the paraxial mesoderm. Those from the lateral edges on its cranial end will form the paraxial mesoderm. Those from the central area on its lateral edges form the intermediate mesoderm. Those cells migrating through the mid-streak region becomes the intermediate mesoderm. So the cells from the migrating through the mid-streak region of the primitive streak will form the intermediate mesoderm. Those from the migrating through the caudal part of the streak form lateral plate mesoderm, and those who are migrating through the most caudal part of the streak will form the extra embryonic mesoderm. I can repeat it that from the cranial end and node they will form the notochord and precaudal plate. From its cranial end will form the paraxial mesoderm. From the mid-streak region forms the intermediate mesoderm. From the caudal part they will form the lateral plate mesoderm, and from the most caudal part of the primitive streak will form the extra embryonic mesoderm. By this we come to know that which part of the cells will migrate the cells and will form which part of the germ layer. This is the formation of the three germ layers. While this primitive stick was forming, there will be the establishment of the body axis too. That we come to know which is the cranial end, which is the caudal end, which is the right or left of the body, which is the dorsal and ventral part of the body. So establishment of the body.